Okay, so let me zoom in on the browser. Oop, that's the page. So we can kind of see our menus just a little bit better. Okay, so kind of quickly running down the list here. So we'll go under File. File is where you're going to have your options for save and save as template. Um, there's also a quick action for save that is right here in this little disk icon. So these two are the same. You can save a page as a practice page here. You're going to get page info. You can do view PDF, which view PDF is also this icon that's right here. It's your preview page. So this will allow you to do a PDF proof of the page. Under edit, we have our undo. Under edit, we have undo and redo, and those are also shortcuts that are right here. We have our standard cut, copy, paste, and delete. So we do have keyboard shortcuts for those. So Control C, copy, Control V is in Victor for paste. Now these are PC commands right here. So if you're working on a Mac, it would be the Command plus C and Command plus V. Moving down, we'll get more onto this one later. It's the change background menu. So when we get to talk about backgrounds, we're going to come back to this one. We have find and replace and spelling. This is going to be more for review near the end of the book, where you can kind of run a spell check on your pages to check for any obvious misspellings. Now, it's not as a robust spell check as like you'd see in Microsoft Outlook or Microsoft Word. So it's not going to catch grammatical errors or anything like that. It's truly catching misspelled words here. So definitely when it gets time later, when you're about to send in your pages to us, definitely, even run spell check, but also have someone else, put another set of eyes on your pages. That way, if they can catch anything that maybe spell check didn't catch. Then we have our select options. So if you're needing to select particular things around on a page, so you could do a select all. It's going to grab everything, and you can either, if you're trying to wipe or clear the page, you can delete everything at once. Or if you want to work on image formatting, so you want all your images on the page to have, the same stroke or drop shadow or something like that, you can select them all. This one selects all the text boxes, shapes. If you're looking for any empty elements, like empty photo boxes, empty text boxes, that's where incomplete comes in. If you're looking for anything locked on a page, you could do select and locked, and they'll find that. And then something kind of new added in this year is color and font. So if you're looking for a particular font or color choice. All right, so then we're going to go under view. View is where we can hide our rulers, which I always leave them up. Hide page margin. I suggest always leaving your page margin up just so you can see where you're bound, where you need to keep stuff in. Grids and guides. So it says hide grid lines and that. So when you first come in, your grid lines on the page here, they're always showing. You can toggle them off from the grids and guides and hit hide guides here. Now there is also in the bottom right corner of the designer, so down in here, there's a little 2-button toggle here. The button, or the bottom button of the toggle, that actually also turns on and off your grid lines. So just another way of getting to it there. And let's see, guides. So guides, when it comes to guides can be pulled down if you want to do guidelines on the page, so you can bring them down. Excuse me, you can bring them down from the top. If you come over to the side ruler, it's where you can bring on your vertical guides. We go back under, so we can then hide those, get rid of them, clear just a few of them, or clear all of them. So I'm going to just go ahead and clear all of them. We have zoom in, zoom out, fit in window. These are also shortcuts on the very top toolbar that are all right here. So, zoom in, zoom out, you have a drop down to choose percentage at. So a couple different places there. Now, next at the bottom here is facing pages and single pages. With facing pages selected, you're always in that double page, you're in that page spread. So you're seeing the left and right page. If you are, most of the time, it'll be fine to leave it this way. If you are the lone advisor working on the yearbook, then you'll probably just leave it this way. The same goes for if you actually have a yearbook class or a staff and only one student is assigned to a spread. It's okay to leave them at facing pages. Now, if you do want to just work single page, you can do a single page as well. But where single page does come in handy is, let's say that you have a large yearbook group and you have one student assigned to a left page, one student assigned to the right page. If they go to work on the spread at the same time, they might run into some save errors there. One student may go to save first and they will actually claim the page and their changes will be saved. Student on those working on the other side, they will be asked to save their changes as a template and apply later. And sometimes they don't realize that, and one may step away and then they come back and their stuff is lost. So to avoid that, what we're going to do is actually, click on single page. And this is where, once you have both of them set to single page, then whoever's working on the left side goes to save. It doesn't interfere or affect whoever is working on the right side, and vice versa. So if whoever's on the right page is working, they save, then it doesn't mess up anything on the left. So just wanted to get that out there on big groups, or if you have pages that are assigned, a spread that's assigned to 2 different people, definitely have them both changed to single page view just to avoid any save errors. Moving over to arrange. Here, I'm going to take my photo off here. And let's bring this down. Okay, so under arrange, we have lock and lock all. So if we wanted to lock an item, another way to lock items is using the little lock icon that's up here in the top toolbar. If you want to group stuff together, we have the grouping option and ungroup. The grouping options in ungroup are also right here. We got group here and then ungroup. So you can either get to it by shortcuts here or from the arrange dropdown. Then we have our alignment tools. So a left, center, and right, aligning horizontally. This is going to work with columns. So I'll put these up here. So if I have all these highlighted, we can go to arrange, and let's just pull them to the left here. And they all go that way. Same thing, there is the arrange shortcut that's right here on the top toolbar. Or the align, so if we go under arrangement, we can then go to align object. So we have our left, center, and right like we just did. So I can pull them right. And then when we arrange vertically, we're doing top, middle, bottom, and that is going to be for our rows. And those same shortcuts are over here under the drop down as well. So top, middle, and bottom. And okay, I think we're pretty good on that. So just wanted to go over where you can find some of those basics, what you can do, what basic tools that you have here for at least helping straighten stuff up. Get everything reset here to back the way it was. Okay. All right. So after we gone over and just kind of gone through there, then kind of running down our tabs here. So on the tabs on the left, we've got the Pages tab, which is more or less like your page ladder that's under Plan. This is just another way that you can easily access pages that are here. Designs, this is where we're going to find all of our templates that we can use for our pages. Images is where you're going to find your images that you've uploaded and drag them onto your pages. Art is where you're going to find things like generic backgrounds and your clip art and your extra image frames. Text is going to be where you can bring text onto a page. Now your text boxes here, you start with a few different styles. You can also make new styles in Plan, but all a style is a text box that is starting at a particular size and a font size and in style. But if you bring anyway, when we bring these on, now once we bring these on, we can then, they're like any other box that we have here. So once they're on a page, we can then switch it up to a different style, a different size, or even color that's here. So that's all the style is. So it's just a text box starting in a particular style and size. And so that's pretty much what we're working with, the few that we're working with today. Now, as far as building activity pages, the easiest way to start here is just by starting with a template, unless you're just dragging and dropping your images on and rearranging them. So some good candid templates here in the program. If we go under the drop down, we're going to go under Page Surfer. So then I have under Page Surfer, every one of these categories here has, good for candid or activity pages. So, if you have stuff for clubs, we have sports, openings, and dividers. Now, if you're looking for just a basic templates, more of the basic templates are going to be under candids here. And they get more involved, more things going on in the other categories here. So we're going to just start with a candids one here. Now, most of these that are under here are, the most basic kind of candid. Some are just photo boxes. Some may have photo boxes and headings. They're for you to use. And so scrolling down through here, we can just pick a template, drag and drop it over. Here, let me do that again. I'm going to drag one over. Okay, and here's where we get a, when you bring a template over, you'll get a retain existing content prompt here. When you bring this over, do you want to retain existing content? You're going to click no. And what this will do is it'll overwrite the template on the page with the next one that you're bringing over. But there are a lot that you can go through here and kind of change. So I'm just going to drop one on. And now when we're working with our templates, there's no one part of our template that is set in stone. So once these templates come over, you can then actually kind of modify this to your liking here. So, you could bring this down. So you can edit, bring a box down. Maybe you wanted this to be more towards the inside. Maybe you wanted to add, if I go under art and image frame, maybe I want to bring over a smaller little box here. Maybe I want some small boxes up here, and let's say maybe I want to make, I'm going to copy and paste. So I'll bring a few more over here. Let's say you didn't like this bottom part of the template that was down here. You wanted to get rid of that. So we have there. Now, what's another thing? Maybe you didn't want all of your boxes square. Maybe let's say that you wanted your 3 circles up here, but let's say that you just really did not want the squares. Maybe you want something more like rounded corners. So I'm gonna highlight all those. Now, if we go up to edit, we then actually now see an option called change shape. So we could change all of them to circle or diamond or any other shape here in the list. Now, if we want to round the corners, we're going to go under our format and effects link here. And very top one, we're just going to round the corners just a little bit. And probably to 25. Okay. So here we go. We've rounded our corners and everything. And let's say that, after you kind of did some modify, I like this design. Let's say that I want to carry this to a few more pages. This is going to be what I want to use for my candids. So if you've taken one of our templates, if you used it like it is, great. If you've taken one of our templates and modified it, you want to save it as your own, all you need to do is go up to File and do Save as Template. You'll then get a prompt. I'm just going to name it Candid Page, and we're going to do today's date. So we got a name in for it. You can then select what page that you want. So you do a left page, right page, but there's nothing over here. And you can actually, make a 2-page template, save it that way, do both pages. But for our example here, I'm just going to go do left page. And I hit save. A template with this name already exists. Do you want to overwrite it? No. I'll put a B on the end of that because I think I might have messed up the date from the other day. Okay, so I've got everything. I got my name. I've got which side I want. I'm going to hit save. Okay, so anytime, so our template is saved. Now, anytime that you want to get back to one of your templates that you saved, you're going to go under Designs. And from the drop down, you're going to go under Custom. And you're going to find your template under My Templates. So I come to, okay, here we go. We got our template that we just made. I'm going to drag and drop it over. Do you want to retain existing content in the new template? No. And now we have our template on another page. Now, one thing you may notice is that it flipped on us, or it mirrored. So anytime you create a template that from the left and you bring it over to a right or vice versa, it's going to flip that layout. So if you're needing a layout to look exactly like you did here before, what you may have to initially do is when you're setting up your template is to go ahead and make a left side and a right side. But if you don't mind it flipping, then that's okay. But just wanted to put that out there that they do kind of flip on you when you go to the other side. All right, now from here, I'm gonna just clear those off. Okay. So another thing that we're looking at, and I'm actually going to move this in a little more. I'm gonna make some room here. Some other things that we do have here in the program. Now, if we go back under designs and we go from our drop down, I'm going to go under click and go. Now, what click and go is, it's not a full page template like this. Click and goes are smaller little groupings of elements put together, and some they're different between each category. So there's cover to cover that has some kind of different groupings of photo boxes and text boxes. We do have headlines. So if we have different headline styles you wanted to bring over to a page, or something like that, nice kind of like heading or so. So on our template, we could have taken all of this out right here at the top if we wanted to, and brought over click and go there. Now, one thing you'll notice about the click and goes when they come onto the page, the click and go templates, you'll see this little dash line around them. That just means that they're grouped together. Now, in order to edit any part of this click and go, well, I get to type in a name for the heading, or change this bit of text, or change the colors. With this selected, you can then add in your titles or anything like that you want there. So that's just a headline kind of click and go that is there. But there's also little infographic stuff, and let me kind of zoom back down. That are good little fillers and everything. So bring one of these over. So kind of like a little name list or a top 10 there, if you had something like that. All different little things that could be dropped in here. Another little area has a little bio, kind of a like when you see in a textbooks that you have a little insert thing, has other information about the page. Other little different groupings of photo boxes. So there's a whole bunch of neat things you can do to, you can take and start with one of our templates and then modify it mostly to your own liking, or even then come and drop in a click and go that's there and kind of really give yourself a unique layout here. So again, I'll go to File, Save as Template. There we go. So a lot of different things you can do. So you're not kind of locked just into one kind of template style. Feel free, look at some of the click and goes to kind of change up headings. If you have a candid page, you're doing like maybe a student survey, something like that. Neat little, kind of looks like little flip books kind of going through here. It's some neat stuff. So we have our template here. I'm going to kind of go with just how this one's looking here. So we got the core, we got our template laid out the way that we wanted. Now it's just kind of bringing over images and working with the type and everything that's here. So when you bring an image over, if your photo box lights up green, that means that the photo box is large enough for your photo. If an image doesn't place in one of these, let's see, we'll get works. This doesn't. Okay, so if your photo box goes red, this means that the photo does not have high enough resolution or the size to fill that box. It could be, overall, it could be both width and height, or if any one of those dimensions, whether it's the width or the height, doesn't meet, it'll give you this red. So our program is not going to enlarge an image beyond its actual size. So even though this is hitting up red, if I drop this here if I go to enlarge this, the program's going to let me know it's reached its maximum size here, and it won't let me make this any bigger. So if you have images like this, they're really good for maybe a candid page where you're just tossing images on and sizing to your liking. Or you can actually, maybe try to find if you have a smaller spot on the page that you could take it to. So just when bringing photos over, green is good, red is bad. So we'll get some other photos that are, put these in. Oh, too small. Okay, so I'll fill it in with images here. Now from here, now we got some images in that. Let's kind of take a look at some of our toolbar options. So if we want to work on any formatting, because once we got our images in that, I mean, once you get the core material in, it's more or less from there is just kind of doing some formatting, putting your final touches on it. All right, so when we have text selected, the toolbar that pops up above the page gives us different text editing options that we could do. If we then have a shape selected, will then just give us shape editing options. So if we wanted to change up the color to that bar. There we go. So you can change it there. Photo selected, we then have photo editing options that we could do. One of the first things we can do is with these first drop down that we have right here, this is stroke. Now what stroke is a simple border that goes all the way around your image. So I'm just going to apply one here. So it's a pretty thin one. Now the higher the point, the thicker that your border or your stroke will be on the image. So I'm going to actually put that at about 2. Now, one thing I can do is if I wanted to apply that same stroke to all images that are on the page, this is where I could go back to edit and do a select in images. So it has all my images selected there. And I can go 2. Now it did not grab these right here because these were grouped part of this click and go. So it wouldn't let me do the formatting on those. So if I were to undo this and then ungroup our click and go here. Now if I were to do an edit, select images, you'll see that these 3 are selected now too. I put my stroke there on that. Some other image formatting that we have here is if we go under this magic wand icon here, this is format and effects. So we've done round corner. There's transparency, which makes it see-through. Tint will lighten it up just a little bit. Or if you want to play with drop shadow in that, drop shadow will make your image looks like it's coming off the page just a little bit, so it gives it some depth there. Another thing, now the next one over is snap edit. Now this is only going to be seen by advisor logins only. So what it is just further kind of photo filters and that you could work with your images. So if I load up that image there, we can see that we can make it black and white. We can make it sepia tone. There's certain overlays that we can do, color overlays, or if we wanted to colorize the image altogether, you can kind of work with that a little bit. Or less brightness, contrast, and some of these other photo things that you could do. On some of these, you can actually double up on them. So if you did like black and white, then you went to overlay, it kind of gives you a cool double effect there. So as instead of more or less colorize, I like kind of doing it this way a little bit better. But if you do any edits under Snap Edit and you go to save, what the program is doing is it's making it's making a copy of the photo and putting the copy with effects here on the page. But if you go back into your actual photos, we'll back up, you'll see that it actually just makes a copy, and here is the original, and the original is untouched in case you want to use it in another place. That's right there. Okay, so we've got our template on the page, we've got our text on the page, we've done some formatting, but what if we want to kind of finish it off with any kind of clip art or theme art that we have here? We're going to go first, if we just go over to the art tab here real quick. So if you're looking for clip art, so we'll go to the art tab, we're looking at clip art. Drop down will allow you to get to all the other categories that are here. Now, if you're looking for clip art, if let's say that you've gone with one of our covers and you're looking for just clip art that goes with a specific cover, then under this, under the clip art and the drop down, you're going to go by cover. And then you'll see names that match up with our cover options that we have. So little pieces of clip art here that you'd be able to bring onto a page. Just drag and drop it over, and then you can kind of size it to your liking and that. Now you'll also notice that there's backgrounds in the folder here. There's, for our theme backgrounds, there's a different way that we'll actually add those onto the page. So we'll come back to that just a second. Also under Art tab, you'll find this Background tab. Now under these backgrounds, any background that's under the generic backgrounds tab here, and there's lots of them. There's lots and lots to go through. So, if you have some time one day, scroll through, check these out. There's just a ton here to use. If you see something that you like and want to use, you just drag and drop it over, and it automatically fills in the page. Now, only the backgrounds in this specific background folder will actually come over and apply and take over the full page. Now, to use the theme backgrounds, here's where we're going to go under Edit, and here's where we're now going to pull up this Change Background menu. Now, this menu, once it comes up, it's just free floating. You can keep it up, you can just move it out of your way in that. I'm going to remove the old background that's here. Now the background menu, it's good for removing backgrounds that you don't want. So let's say that you had a layout come over from last year and you want to change out the background. You don't want to use the same backgrounds that came over. Go ahead and you can use this to peel it out. The Change Background menu will also allow you to choose single colors. So if you just want to do singles or solid color, go under Background Color, and we can just pick, if it'll let me pick a color that's here. All right. Now, coming down here, if you want to get to our theme art, here's where you'll go to Choose Image. Now, you'll also use this if not only is this going to be good for accessing theme art, but if you yourself have any backgrounds that you've uploaded from outside of the program. So let's say either you have your own background files that you want to use in the book, or if you've taken pictures from around the school, maybe you have like a nice long hallway shot, or maybe you have a picture of your playground or your school, or any kind of shot that from around your school that you would use in the background. Those can be uploaded just like any other images, and you'll use this tool to navigate to them to be able to apply them as backgrounds. So again, once this window pops up, there's a drop down here, and you're going to go under by cover. And here's where you see the different names again. So I'm just going to go under one of our cover abstract here. So if you see a background that you want to use, you'll just select it. Click on the background and then go down here and hit select, and then it will apply to your page. Some other neat things you can do with your backgrounds, you can flip them here, flip them vertically, or flip them horizontally. Not too many times you can rotate those or not. You can also, if a background comes onto a page to, let's say it's really robust in color, like this one is, and your photos are kind of lost within it. One idea to do with busy backgrounds is if you tint them a little bit, then what that'll do is it'll pull your focus back to the foreground, which is your images there on top. And it adds and makes stuff look like it has a little more depth here to it. So no tint, stuff's really busy, stuff isn't really kind of popping out or stepping out to you. So if you tint it a little bit, it tends to kind of make everything kind of pop, and it's the focus back here, so it allows people to kind of focus in on the pictures and leave the background as what it is, just a background. But yeah, that is how you'll get to theme backgrounds, theme art and clip art. So remember the theme clip art pieces, you can just pull those over from the art tab. And your backgrounds, theme backgrounds, so you'll get to those using the change background menu. And again, that's just found under edit here. So it's right here under edit. Okay, just trying to see where we've gone through. So we've gone, bleeds and margins. We've gone over toolbars. We've went over how to do templates, and then how to do some formatting and backgrounds. This is really just, as far as building a candid page, these are just more or less the basics of getting started here, but there's a lot you can do. So templates, starting with templates is good to start with. Some have photo boxes. You can change those up, make them your own designs. But really, from there, this is how we actually create a candid page. So at this time, I think we got we got a little bit before 4 o'clock. What I can do is, if anyone has any questions before we want to wrap it up, you can unmute everybody, or if you want to unmute yourself if you have any kind of questions. Got a little bit of time. So yeah, if you have any questions about today's stuff, or maybe something that I might have missed on explaining, go ahead. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. Not looking like I'm getting any questions here, which is all right.
Hi, I'm sorry. I was a
All
little
right.
delayed coming in at another work. I was just trying to see. So at the beginning, did I miss how to get into where you were, or were you just showing? Was there something I needed to log in to be there to see how to do pictures? I'm not sure if you're speaking. We can't
No,
hear.
I didn't know. I mean, basically, this is where we kind of started. We started here on the page designer. I'm so I'm not sure if you how much if or if you did miss much, if anything. Um, where did you come in at on the webinar?
You were already there. I think I was maybe 5 minutes or so. But I'm just saying, so the page designer, was there someplace I was supposed to log in to be there?
No, you're just. I mean, you're watching my screen. Go
Okay.
log into just the go-to meeting to
Mhm.
watch me go around the program.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay,
All
okay.
right. Looks like I had a few other people kind of drop off here. So here, if I guess if we didn't have any, um, so thank you everyone for joining me. This is related to activity pages may when it comes time to build your yearbook. Using the templates already in the program and building your own templates should save you some time and give book continuity. So do want to let you know we were recording this, so here shortly we're going to get this posted and then a link sent out to anyone that may have missed this or came in late or had to leave early, but definitely want to get this out to you so that way you don't miss anything. Or if you just need a refresher, something to jump back to. So thank you again, everybody. Um,
Okay, thank you.